10. And we are live. Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. This is Robert Henderson Jr. I'm the president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. And joining me live here via webcam all the way. We're streaming on YouTube and Facebook Live. My one and only, my brother from another mother. That's
Yes.
James T. Hot 105. How you doing, brother?
Good morning, Rob. I'm killing it. Rob. Rob, I'm serious.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it.
I gotta say, Rob. I'm sorry. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to try to water it down. I was sharing. You and I had we always having conversations before we have this conversation, but this morning heard from a young man that I've been, I guess, mentoring in a way for a few years. And he was calling, he sent me a message from Atlanta. He was in Atlanta. And when he and I were on the phone talking, you called up and I shared with him something, Rob, that I think is so important. What we have to do is, you and I know that if you don't have a goal, you're really not heading for success.
Right.
Earl Nightingale says that I think success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. But the fact is, if you have a goal, and I told him last week, I was given the message in my study how I was asking God to fulfill his purpose in me. That was my theme for last week. This week, it was face to fear. My message to people when I talk, about facing fear, because people don't understand that you fear. If you face it, the fear disappear. But if you avoid it or try to go around it or whatever, it could, because it's all a mental thing. So with that in mind, man, I've just been having a great week, a great month, and today is the best day of my life until midnight.
Each day you gotta take it day by day, right?
Day by day. I'm living for the future, Rob. Most people live it in the past. We live it for the future.
Well, now is the future. Now is the future.
Every now.
Fact, that was the theme of the workshop. I was in Vancouver, Canada, and that's why we didn't have the show last Saturday. It was about 200 top producers. They invite your wife, and they pay for all expenses, and that was in Vancouver, Canada. Every year they have about 2 or 3 of these throughout the year, and I get invited to it. But it's about financial planning, strategies, taxes, investments, and it's just it's going over the you understand how to understand what's really happening. It's like taking you behind the curtains to see what's really going on. What a lot of people don't get privileged to, and they don't know. So and this time it was usually it's about 6 of us, that people of color, black folks, but here was 2 of us, and we was happy to see each other, man. We was like to be on another planet. We're like, hey, I had seen them before, but my wives seen each other. It's seen them before, and but that was real good. And one of the speakers, as a matter of fact, the vice president of the company, one of the companies that spoke, he was a brother. So all 3 of us, we kind of hung out and had a good time, man. I mean, it was just a beautiful thing. And then, James, I found out as my driver that picked us up from the airport, we had a driver that they sent a driver for you and everything. And she was telling us, man, and I looked it up later, how Vancouver, British Columbia, they just awarded and legalized, they just awarded a company there to be able to sell cocaine. And I said, hold on, I'm not hearing this right.
When you told me that, Rob, I flipped.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, cocaine, man. They legalized, so they already legalized marijuana in British Columbia, Vancouver. But now a company there can actually not only sell it, but produce certain grams of cocaine and sell to the general public. And I said, so I said, was sex, prostitution legal here? And she said, no, not yet. I said, is this Amsterdam? I mean, yeah, I've been to Amsterdam, and I'm like, goodness gracious, that blew my mind. I'm like, man, so they only goes to show us, if you bear witness what's going on. The world is constantly changing. It is constantly changing. Now, some people can say that it's going to hell and it's changing for the worse. I always choose to look on the brighter side. I'm an optimist.
PMA.
I truly believe that the world, believe it or not, matter of fact, I know the world is getting better. Now, even though you have culture wars, and that's just a cleansing, because you can't stop creation. I don't care. It's like you trying to get in front of traffic and stop a bus. You can't stop something that you don't understand. And the reason why most of the time when people are trying to go against something, a lot of times people don't understand, and people not really thinking. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. See, true thinking is not just listening. It's not just hearing one side. You got to be able to, when you think, you got to be able to look at the situation from all sides, even from your opponent's side. What do they believe? What do they think? And why do they think that? That's when you really get into thinking. Even though you have your viewpoint, you want to also look at how could they even have, oh my God, look who has dropped in, bruh man. This bruh woman, Lord have mercy. Look who has dropped in. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a drum roll here? Do we have a drum roll?
Stop,
sister-in-law, Linda V. Harris. How you doing?
I am great. That's why you have partners. And it's so good to have partners to start shows, end shows, fill in for you. So thank you so much for being such a good partner.
See, Linda, you had a great idea right there, because you and I last week, we could have done this show if you had called me.
She wasn't ready. She was out. She's nothing. She wasn't ready to do it. If you and her could have did the show, she'd have been here.
I'm gonna stop. Stop.
And if I wouldn't have been out of town, she'd have been here. But she's still out on assignment. I gotta say, those of you all who just tuning in for the first time, this is my wonderful, fabulous, beautiful, smart, intelligent sister-in-law.
All of that.
Vice President of Henderson Financial Group, Linda V. Harris. Linda is actually head of the whole growth and development real estate division that we are really, really segue into. And she's been out on assignment, just gathering all this knowledge and nuggets. And yesterday she told me about a few deals that she's been working on. And boy, she showed me the not only blueprints, but she also showed me the rendering drawing. And boy, I
like it.
I called her back and said, boy, that's some sexy buildings.
So listen, I believe everybody on here know me. Have you got any new listeners since I was out on assignment?
Man, we always get new listeners.
Because everybody, I mean, we're all family, but I do see a couple new names.
Yeah, and the ones who don't, it's a lot of people who are listening, and they shy. They don't come forward. They don't sign on. They listening from the cut. They listening from the far.
I got you.
But we know that somebody always listening. Even your uncle always listening and looking, you know what I mean?
And looking, I got you.
So you come back to brighten it up, bright eye, bushy tail with your, what's that, bubblegum pink?
I am ready. I am excited. I am, like you said, I've been out learning so much. And I tell you, I think I'm on probably my third career.
That's right.
You no longer ask a little boy or girl, what do you want to be when you grow up? 3 different things. They pivot. These young kids. I think they actually have a rule not to stay at one job for more than 7 years.
Nowadays,
you become stagnant. Yeah.
One position.
one job, one company.
Oh man,
You gotta, well, maybe one position.
one position.
Then you move up. Yeah. But that's kind of what we didn't go for that growing up, right?
No. But at the Henderson Financial Group, we every year we do something different.
Oh yeah, new licenses,
new viewpoints,
new products,
new strategies.
New strategies.
Yeah, that's what keeps us here. We don't, and some people just not that, blessed or lucky or whatever you want to do, but you have to be able to continue to evolve and grow and learn.
Yeah.
You have to, you just have to. Otherwise, you're not being all that you could be.
I think that's what contributed to people saying, I feel like I'm not being all I could be or doing all I can do. And they look around and they see people like yourself and James, and you got 5 different things going on and projects and meeting new people and new everything. And people that don't do that, I can see how they can feel
stagnant.
Yeah.
So we want to say hello. Good morning, Testiny. Good morning, Miss Anna Dupree, Mr. Redhead. Hey, what's up, P. Parnell Victor, my man. And who else we got? Michael Jenkins. What's up, Mike? And my daughter-in-law, Shay Henderson. Okay, married my son. Denise Ward. How you doing, Denise? Denise, I read that what you put in the I think you sent it to Heisey, that said how the Henderson Financial Group really, really has changed your life and gave you better insight. And that made us all feel good. So thank you so much for those compliments. And me and James C were just talking about that earlier today, that we always do more in service than we take in pay. The client, the person has got to benefit, first, and got to benefit a whole lot in the information that we give and everything, because it can't not be uneven. It has to be. As a matter of fact, it's not even. We give you information that lasts you for a lifetime, even though we may say it today. But it's way powerful if you really take it in. Miss Joanne Spain, that's another fantastic client. The Lawrence Moore, another fantastic client. Some good people. And then that's just a few people here that has signed on. But there's a lot of people around the world, because we're on Facebook and we're also on YouTube. And what we say here, because today I'm going to talk about something. And I'm going to talk about it in a way that most people have never heard. And it's understanding corporate structures. A lot of people know about LLC. They hear, I want to form an LLC, or they want to form an S Corp or a C Corp, but they don't really, really understand it. And I would say 90% of people that do the income taxes, they get the income taxes done, because everybody have to get them done, don't really understand the income tax system. Really don't. They just want to know if they're gonna have to pay money or they're gonna get money back.
Yeah, because we often tell folks, have you ever thought of a side hustle or forming? But then that can be discouraging, because as soon as you do that, you start getting all these letters from the IRS, that mail, and you got to get the EIN, and then you don't have time, you don't understand, and then you just go all forget it.
Yes.
And then other folks like me want to know which one best serves me to pay myself, and I don't want to say the word hide money, but spend the money that I normally spend, but make it a write-off. Can you tell us that? Can you tell us that in layman's terminology? I always pay my cell phone anyway. Is there a way to pay it through a company?
Yes.
I always do my dry cleaners. Is there a way to do it through a company?
Yes.
Okay. That's
when you say do it through a company, you mean
and write it off
to be able to take a tax deduction for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people want to hear that, Robert.
Yes.
That's yeah.
and I want to explain it.
The people want to hear that.
Well, I tell you, she don't. It's strategy. It's strategy.
All legal now. Legal.
Legal. I had a conversation with a gentleman yesterday, and I told him, I said, if you learn nothing else from having a relationship with us, the one thing that you're going to learn is that I'd sure love to have Robert Henderson as a financial planner.
Yes,
I'd sure love to be in connection with the Henderson Financial
Group. That
is
true. That's true.
Yeah. Because it's not just a place where you just go and there's only one road, hey, to New York or California or whatever. No, there are many ways to get there from where you are. And that's the key. Most people don't want to recognize where they are. And they don't want to share the truth about where they are.
I know.
But now they know where they would love to be. Right. I'd love to, be able to pull out about $50,000, $60,000 a month, and da 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 da. Wait. How'd you get there from right there where you still got this job that you know, the only money that you earn is coming from one situation, and that is they're paying you for your time. No, you know, hey, what about multiple sources of income? Have you ever thought about that? And how are you going to get there? So you have to start from where you are. So it is a strategy, right, Mr.
I have
Lynn?
a brother-in-law like that, James. We won't say which one. And always say, "Oh, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. Oh, I hate this job. They work me too much, but I don't know. I can't get out of this. I just feel so like I'm not." In every family gathering, we hear this, and every family gathering, Robert and I try to talk to him, and then we both start saying, "I'll forget it." Yeah, how do you get from where you are? You got to plan and strategize. But he does have a mean golf game. And he does, you know, go out with the boys. And yeah. All right, I'm going to shut up. My brother-in-law might be listening.
Yeah, he's probably listening. But the thing is that is that action does it.
Yeah.
You know, you can say this and say that.
You can't get around it.
You action does it. I mean, when we was growing up, when we was little kids, we would say, okay, that's my car. When I grow up, that's gonna be my car. That's my car. When we just sit on the curb or the stoop in a little kid and the cars go by, you're like, oh, look at that car.
Mine was a Thunderbird.
Thunderbird. I was a GTO. Souped up. I was a little kid. You know, that's my car when I grow up, you know?
Right.
And so, but we didn't have any action. You know, you say a lot of things. A lot of people say a lot of things. So let's get into the subject because time goes by real fast. All right. So now I'm going to use to help you to understand. I'm going to use metaphors and correlations, and I'm going to use a family.
Okay.
Okay. Like you, my family, your family. I'm going to use a family, and then I'm going to, as I use it, I'm going to use you going into business.
Okay.
But I want you to make it's a parallel. It's because a lot of things that are true, there's certain principles, they just change the names, you know, and that's it. And when they change the name, sometimes people get all messed up, but it's still the same concept.
Okay.
Before we start, I'll give you a case in point what I'm talking about. In any sport, the object is to score a point.
Gotcha.
Right? Gotcha. Whether you're playing soccer, football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, the winner scores a point.
Right.
But you notice in each different sport, they don't all call them. They're ultimately they're points, but one of them is called a goal. GOAL, a goal.
Okay.
One is called a basket.
Okay.
You know, one is called a touchdown.
Okay.
You know, one is called a run.
Okay.
How many runs you got? You know what I mean? The terminology, man. And the terminology mess a lot of people up because it's like they get confused. But once you start having that third eye, matter of fact, James C. and I was talking about, it's most people think it's only two sides to a coin, you know, the head or the tail. But no. If that third eye said it's a third surface, because if you take that quarter and you spin it on that table, it's on that side. That's the third side. You understand?
I got you.
So you got to be able to look deep. It's more than what you can see. So getting back to understand corporate structures, we're talking about an S Corp, a C Corp, an LLC, because a lot of people want to go into business and they'll go to an accountant or they'll do it themselves, but they don't really understand what's going on. And that's why when it comes to the tax part, oftentimes they miss the magic. Okay, so here's a family that, matter of fact, I'm going to use you.
All right.
I'm going to use you so people can get a visual.
Gotcha.
Okay, Linda, if you're single and you have no children,
which that's me,
you are independent and you are what you call a sole proprietor.
Okay.
So that means that
me, myself, and I.
You, yourself, and I.
Gotcha.
And you're in business. As a matter of fact, each and every one of us are truly in business, whether we incorporate or not. We're selling something.
Okay, careful there.
Well, I mean,
we are the CEO of our lives,
right? That's what I mean.
Okay,
you selling something because if you employed, if you getting some money, you've done some sort of service. You did something for somebody. Can the church say amen? James T.
Amen.
Showed up at that job, you did something.
You did something.
Okay.
So now, but you're single, but you are in business.
Okay.
And each and every one of us that's listening, we are in business. If you ain't got no money, you're not running your business right. Okay.
Gotcha.
Right,
Gotcha.
all right. So you got to
Gotcha.
be doing service. So we know the key to making money is serving someone, whether you're walking them across the street, whether you're plaiting somebody's hair, whatever you're doing, washing somebody's car, you're in business. All right. So
service and product, bro. Service and product.
That's right. Service and product. All right. That's partnership. Third, service and product.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now, Linda, you individually, you ain't married, you don't have any kids. Now, you are in business. You're what we call a sole proprietor because you by yourself.
Okay.
I don't care if you're selling hamburgers, you got a restaurant or whatever. You are in business and you have you're providing a service and you got a product.
Gotcha.
Now, when you're independent like that, let's say if you have a restaurant and you're serving food, Linda's Barbecue, and you're making money.
Okay.
In terms of risk management, if I came along and said, Linda, I'm looking at your outfit, I'm looking at your whole business model, what you're doing, you're single, you're individual, you're selling barbecue, you got people lined up around the corner, come from all around to buy your barbecue. That barbecue sauce so good it make your hair grow. So you know you got a lot of people, right? So I'm gonna invest in that one, but that's let me digress.
Okay.
Okay, so now you serving this, and I'm gonna come around as a financial planner. I'm gonna say, listen, everything look good, but I always got to say what could go wrong, because somebody in that line hating, and somebody could say they got sick off your barbecue, and then if they sue you, they're gonna get an overzealous attorney. Because attorneys nowadays, man, they looking for work.
Advertising all on TV.
They looking for work so bad, man. They could just, oh Lord, they gonna take the case. They're gonna take the case because they know that you are prosperous and your business is doing really good. They're gonna check you out and they're gonna say there is money, there's gold there in them hills. Right? They're gonna say that. So now I'm gonna say, to prevent somebody from suing you from getting sick or from eating your food, we need to form a corporate structure. Okay. The first structure I'm going to tell you is called a LLC.
And that stands for Limited
Liability Corporation.
Okay, got you.
Okay. Now, before I told you to form an LLC, when you got ready to do when you was doing your business and it was time for you to file your income taxes, let's say you made $100,000 a year selling barbecue. Okay. When you get ready to go to the tax man or the tax lady, they're gonna do your taxes and they're gonna come up with what they call a 1040, maybe an easy or just a regular 1040 tax return. Because I'm a sole proprietor. Because you're just you. Just easy 1040. That's it. Okay. It's just you. Okay. It's just you. Okay. It's just you. Got it. So whatever. If you now I'm gonna talk about the deduction. You just as structure, you're a sole proprietor. Okay. The problem with being a sole proprietor, if you're in a product that other people can leaving yourself open for lawsuits or risk management, I'm going to tell you to at least form an LLC. Because even if you have real estate, you have a couple of duplexes, not on your present home, but you have duplexes, you need to have an LLC because the LLC stands for Limited Liability Protection. Now, why would I recommend an LLC to you? Because an LLC is like having an umbrella. Having a force around you. Okay. So I would tell you, Linda, when you sell that barbecue, instead of taking that barbecue and putting it into Linda V. Harris bank account, I want you to open up a Linda V. Harris barbecue bank account. That's 2 bank accounts. Okay. You got me? Okay. And I want you to have that LLC in case somebody slip and fall or get sick or choke off your food. They can't sue you personally. So hence the name Limited Liability. Right. It limits my liability. That's right. Okay. That's right. Okay. So that's really good. And attorneys don't like to sue limit liability companies because it's much harder. So they can't get to me. The umbrella is over Linda V. Harris. Right. Right. But they have at it with Linda V. Harris Barbecue. That's right. So that's 2 entities you just call. Even though it's you just put an invisible force field around you called like a protection insurance, but it's like limited liability. They can, whatever you put into that limited liability bank account, that's all they could get. Okay. But you can put the money in there and then tomorrow give it to you personally, and whatever's in the limited liability, that's all they bank account, that's all they could get. Okay. You follow me? Okay. So you don't want to keep a whole lot in the LLC in case somebody sue you. I like it. You understand? I like it. But then that is something that's something between you and your business. Even though the only one 100% owner of Linda's Barbecue is you.
They
but you
still can't get to
they
me.
still can't get to you.
Okay. I like
Now,
it.
income tax time.
Okay.
When you get ready to file, before you file and before you I recommend the LLC, you would just go to the tax man, tax nominee, and you just do your income taxes. Say, okay, this is what I made,
Mhm.
this is my expenses,
Mhm.
this is what I, get back, or this is how much I have to pay. Well, if you have an LLC,
Mm-hmm.
you get an LLC has its own has a tax report also.
Get the tax ID number.
You have to get a tax ID number
Okay.
because you just created a whole nother entity.
Okay.
It's invisible because it's just named, but the IRS is recognized as it's on its own.
Okay.
Okay. It has to file taxes too, separately.
Than me.
Yes. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. It has to file a tax report. It has to file a tax return report,
Okay.
but it never has to pay taxes.
Gotcha. So it has to report what
Right.
it made,
To the IRS,
the
right?
expenses.
That's right.
But it doesn't turn in that form to the government.
It doesn't pay. If it owed taxes, it doesn't pay.
Well, who paid if they made money? Because the
You.
government always want their money.
You
Ah.
are responsible for the acts of the LLC. So let me tell you
Oh wow.
how I want to break this down.
Okay. Okay.
An LLC is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
if you're single and now you just had a baby, and the baby grows up and 5-10 years old, the baby is still a minor.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't it true that the grown-up, the parent, is responsible for all minors' acts?
Absolutely. You
Right.
can sue the parent.
That's right. You can sue the parent. So whatever a minor does, your child does, the school gonna call you.
Absolutely.
The school gonna call you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that child done, you're responsible for it. Matter of fact, if that child go out there and rob somebody and shoot somebody, they may just put you in jail.
Absolutely.
Because you are responsible for the LLC, the minor.
Gotcha.
Minors don't file tax. In other words, they don't pay taxes.
No.
If you have a child and that child go out there and have a business and make money, play the piano, become a movie star,
Mm-hmm.
and the child is not 18 years old because they cannot sign legal documents, they can't even open a bank account.
Mm.
They need a guardian, a parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's you, Linda.
So I can receive money on that minor's behalf.
That's right. So an LLC, you are the guardian
Gotcha.
because the LLC is a minor.
It's a minor.
Isn't that
Okay,
something?
Okay.
So when you get ready to do your taxes, it says Linda V. Harris, that's
Mm-hmm.
your personal tax, that's your 1040.
Okay.
Then you got to have a tax return for Linda's barbecue,
Okay.
and that's called 1120S.
Gotcha.
It has its own tax. But well, let me tell you something. Let's say you made $100,000 in selling barbecue under the LLC,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and let's say you said that you reported expenses of $50,000.
Okay.
So that means that $50,000 is tax deduction because that's what it took for you to buy the ingredients and cook the
Absolutely.
barbecue. There's a
Right.
cost for it. Even though they
Absolutely.
bought in
Gotta buy the
$100,000,
meat.
you had to buy the meat, you got to
Right.
buy the sauce, you had
Right.
to have people helping you.
Right.
So that's a deduction. So even though 100,000 came in, you had to. It wasn't 100,000 profit because you had costs for it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say it's 50,000 cost.
Okay.
So now you have 50,000 left. On an LLC 1120, whatever is left
Mm-hmm.
spills over to you. That's the child spills over to you, and now you got to pay that under your 1040,
Under my personal
under your
taxes.
personal tax.
Okay. So even if I have a job, I get W-2,
Right.
but 1120S from the minor/LLC. Okay. Income from both. One is
Spills
called
over.
1120S.
Yes.
Okay. I got you.
So
I got
so
you.
every individual all of us have to file a 1040S. That's a regular tax return.
regular tax. Okay.
But if you got a side business like an LLC, an S corp, that's like having a child.
Okay.
And if you have a business, you have real estate. Let's say you have real estate.
Mm-hmm.
The real estate making money, and you have it under LLC. After you deduct the rents, everything, it forms. If it has profit, it comes on to your personal taxes, which puts you in a higher tax bracket,
Mm-hmm.
which makes you have to pay more taxes.
Gotcha.
But when you come to me, the Henderson Financial Group, I'll say, listen, we need to come up with more deductions on that 1120S because now you got a profit.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to that profit not spill over to you personally, when you got to claim it on your taxes,
Mm-hmm.
you got to come up with some expenses.
Come up with some expenses.
Yeah, you got to go buy a truck.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, you gotta buy a truck or whatever, you know.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
you gotta expenditures. You gotta come and spend. Or what we like to do, we have to say you got to put that into a profit sharing plan, a retirement plan for yourself.
Oh, you're getting me all confused now.
You got to do something with the money.
Okay.
When you have a business, there's three things you can do: give it to charity, the profits. Otherwise, Uncle Sam gonna want his.
Okay.
They didn't do anything to help you with that business.
Right.
You either have to give it to charity,
Mm-hmm.
or you have to come up with some business expenses.
Because I need a truck anyway.
Okay, so that's the expense. So now you have to pay taxes.
But I can buy it through the barbecue account.
That's right.
Ah.
If you don't, whatever's left in that account, you got to pay taxes on it to Uncle Sam.
Gotcha.
So in business, they tell you you can give it to charity.
Uh-huh.
That's why a lot of businesses give charity donations because it make them look good too.
Mhm.
Plus, they get more business from giving.
Gotcha.
Right, James? Get more
Amen.
business from giving, right?
Amen.
Right.
Give and it shall be given unto you. Full
So
measure.
the business got to either give it to charity,
Uh-huh.
give some money to charity.
Mhm.
You can give it all, give some. You buy some equipment to help you to make more barbecue.
Gotcha.
Buy another a bigger stove, or have profit sharing and take that money and put it for your retirement.
Okay.
You can actually take that profit and make it
just push it to the side.
put to the side and put it into a retirement plan.
Okay. And then I
Then
won't have to pay taxes.
and then you
on it.
wipe it out. So that business didn't make no money. It made money, but it didn't make money because you got to do something with the money.
Mm.
If you don't do nothing with the money, they're gonna take the money.
But do something that benefits me.
That's
I
right.
mean, I'm not being selfish,
Corporation.
but I did.
Corporations go buy airplanes.
Ah.
They go buy a second headquarters. Isn't that
Gotcha.
something?
Oh man. And then they don't have to pay taxes on that money? Man. Okay.
That's the
Okay.
LLC.
Okay.
So the
I like
LLC
it.
is just, and then so LLCs, when you have a business, a LLC, there's two taxes. There's two type of returns that have to be filed,
Gotcha.
but it's only one tax.
Gotcha.
Because whatever the business does, if it's an LLC, it's the same concept if you have an S corporation. S corporations don't pay taxes. They call them pass-throughs. LLC is a pass-through.
Gotcha.
It's like having minor child
Mhm.
and the acts of your minor child, your business, fall upon you. If it made a profit, you're gonna have to pay more money. So if you're working for the man, you work a state or a state job, a government job, your correctional officer, whatever, and you get a paycheck, but you got a side hustle
Mhm.
and you got a business. The business has to file a return, and whatever the business made falls upon you. And a lot of people say, "Hey, my business did real good, even though I got a regular job. My side job did good, doing half." And that's hurting me because now I got to pay taxes. But if you come to somebody like Robert Henderson, we're gonna tell you how not to leave that profit for the IRS. We're gonna tell you exactly what you can do to help enhance your life
Mhm.
and use that money. You can give charity, you can put in retirement planning strategy, you can buy real estate, you can buy a truck. There's expenses that you can do, but do something with the money. If you don't do nothing with the money, you got to send it off to the IRS, never to
Mhm.
see it again.
And a lot of people get discouraged when that happens because it's like, why am I working so hard? Yes, it's making money, but I'm not making money.
Yes.
I'm paying more taxes. So
Rob,
yeah,
hey Rob, one of the things that you do want to do is to caution them
Mhm.
in not reporting. Earning that
Oh,
money.
Oh,
not
Lord.
reporting.
Oh,
Oh,
you
Lord.
just gave me flashback. That was a trigger. The young people
Oh,
call trigger,
Lord.
Jay.
Oh,
That was
Lord.
a trigger. You just
Robert.
triggered me because
Oh,
I've been through
Lord.
that.
Oh,
Whoa,
before I learned
Lord.
all this, woo, Lord.
Oh,
When they
man.
came at me, I thought I was in Germany. I thought it was the Gestapo. I'm like, is this the United States? They say,
Whoa.
well, you owe us $50,000. Okay. I said, okay, I got it. Let me pay it. No. We don't want the 50. We want 120. I said, you say I owed you 50. No.
Uh-huh.
But there's failure to file.
Penalty.
Penalty.
Daily
Oh,
interest.
Daily
Oh.
interest, penalty, all that. So
Ooh.
I can't just pay the 50 that I owe
Right.
you. No. We want 120. You're worse than Guido. That's worse than the mob.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
Rob,
you're right, James. You please pay your
yeah,
taxes.
when you but see what most people don't understand is they
Mhm.
think that because I'm dealing in cash that the government has no way of knowing what quote I earn.
Mhm.
But they forget something.
Mhm.
They spend what they earn. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
and the government knows what you're spending, what you're buying. Hey, having those girl trips and hey, going to the islands and hey,
That happened to a lot of drug dealers.
They
you
call
know?
that a lifestyle audit.
Yeah, that's lifestyle. Or that happened to a lot of drug
Oh,
dealers.
yeah.
You know, they say, hey, I don't make no money, but you got a Rolls Royce you got a Bentley.
But then even if you put it in your girlfriend's name, now you dragging her in
And
because
she
she
gonna
only
tell.
worked for the county,
Oh, she gonna tell.
and she gonna tell what? Because her income does not support that zip code or that vehicle.
She gonna say, Pookie, I love you, but I ain't getting ready
I
to do
can't
20
go
years.
down, right? So yeah, you're so
and then,
right.
And then when
man.
that happened, they call it conspiracy.
oh,
You just trying to hide, but they call it conspiracy, and they done wrote a law for that.
It gonna
That's
make-
minimum 20 years.
that don't
Oh.
have. Does it have anything to do with the RICO Act?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then
It's just a hole you go
oh,
down
man.
in.
That's why just do it. Just do
Just
it right.
do it right.
They see the government knows exactly what you're thinking and how you're doing, and they know that what we're talking about right now is like playing chess. And most people, we all know that it's easy to play checkers in life.
But we see people like the Donald Trumps that's gotten away with it so long,
Hey.
pumping up his value and then reducing it to pay less
They-
taxes. And the Martha Stewart, we see all the big boys doing it, but they have attorneys that'll fight for them. But I cannot outspend the government. I just can't do it.
They know the tax law.
They know the
Somehow
tax law.
We lost.
Did we
James.
lose James?
Yeah, somehow we lost James. We'll
Mhm.
get him back.
We'll get him back.
All right, but we lost James. We'll get him back. But
Yeah, to your point. So the LLC and the S are both pass-throughs.
yes,
Okay.
They're
They
pass-throughs.
do a report. They never pay taxes.
that's right.
Okay. I
Whatever,
like it.
if it's a profit or gain,
Mhm.
all that comes on to the parent, which is you.
Gotcha.
Okay, now-
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's LLC, that's the S corp. That's how that structure is. Now,
Okay.
the one powerful with
Mhm.
Microsoft
Mhm.
and Apple and McDonald's and Walmart, those are what we call C corporations.
Hmm.
C corporation. Now, a C corporation, go back to the example that I was giving.
Okay.
So Linda, when you have you have real estate or whatever, you have some stuff on the side,
Mhm.
then you put in the LLC or have S corps, right?
Mhm.
Those
Yes,
are
sir.
minors. So whatever they profit or loss, you can if it's a loss, then you can use that loss to reduce your personal taxes on your income taxes from your employer.
Okay.
Okay, but now a C corp would be someone who is an adult. So let's just say you had a child and the child was your business and the business was 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever. And it's a minor.
Mhm.
It wasn't 18 years old, it was a minor. Now the child done got grown.
Okay.
The child 21 years old.
Okay.
The child, matter of fact, done moved out your house.
Okay.
Now, if the child do something destructive or against the law, they ain't gonna come looking for you. They gonna come looking for who? The child.
The child, because
Because
they're
now an
grown
adult.
now.
They're grown now.
Okay. Okay.
They got to suffer their own consequence. They got to pay for their own sins,
Separate from me.
separate from you.
Okay.
Ain't got nothing to do with you because they are a C corp now.
Mm.
They're C
So
corp.
They file their own taxes,
Yes,
not a report.
yes.
Okay.
They file their own taxes. Whole nother. There's a big boy now. They grown. They at your house. And matter of fact, you say, hey, when you was a minor, if you can't do what I say, you got to get out.
Right.
It's my rules.
Right. Right.
So you can tell a minor that because a minor don't know how nowhere to go. Okay, mom and dad, I'm gonna clean up my room so I can stay.
I like
Right?
it. I
But
like
then when
it.
they start making enough money, in other words, when the company get big, it becomes a C corp. It's grown now.
Gotcha.
It's out of your house.
Gotcha.
Isn't that something? So that's a
Gotcha.
C corp.
Okay.
Now a C corp, Linda, you could actually be owner of a C corp. So
Say that again.
in other words, you can be related to the C corp, the child. You're still the mother.
I'm still
You're
a
the
mother.
parent
Okay.
company.
Okay.
You're
okay.
the parent company. Isn't that something?
I like it.
You're the parent company.
Okay.
But whatever that child, that C corp's earnings, losses, whatever it makes, it's on his own. Matter of fact, Donald Trump made all C corps pay the lowest taxes on the planet. All big businesses. That's why when he was in office and they're supposed to set sail and all that's supposed to go away in 2026.
Mhm.
But that's why they say, yes, he's good for the country. Big business, because they pay all C corps, they pay the least amount of taxes.
Less than
An
the
individual.
police officer.
Oh, yeah,
Less
yeah,
than
yeah,
the
yeah.
teacher.
Oh,
Less
yeah.
than the secretary.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that something? So
Okay.
okay, so like you have a C corp. So now
Okay.
now you got a C corp. But a lot of them companies they do have minor companies, they have LLCs, they have partnership, they have S corp, and they always have a C corp. Why would they want to have a C corp? A C corp, think
Mhm.
about this. Since a C corp is grown, it's making money,
Mhm.
and now you
Mhm.
have a relationship with that C corp,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you as an S corp, you need some tax deductions. You can actually you can actually have an association with your son or your daughter, which is a
Okay.
C Corp,
Okay.
grown,
Okay.
and whatever money you pay or give to that C Corp
hmm
really is a tax deduction from you.
So just like you said, we have to find ways to spend the money, such as a car or such as equipment. I can also give the money to the
Not
C Corp, not give,
not
but
give,
pay them for a service.
pay them for a service. Pay them for a service.
That's like,
let's say you want
okay,
let's say you
okay.
want the C Corp to cut all of your duplexes, your rental property. You want the C Corp to manage the yards, the lawns.
So okay, wait. I just had a vision.
Okay.
I own the apartment building.
Let's get James back in. He
Oh,
had
okay.
power outage. Let me get him back in here.
There he is.
There you go. Back. You're back, huh?
You got rain up that way?
No, it was that enemy. We were you guys were giving out too much information, so they said we need to cut James T off this. No, I'm good. Yeah, we had a little power surge, but hey,
Got you.
continue, guys. Continue, please.
So
Okay.
my
So James, we just segue into the grown up, a C corporation.
Okay.
So we know that the S Corp and the LLC, those are minor children, those are minor businesses. All of their profits and losses or whatever spill over to the parent. So the parent has to file that on their income taxes. So, and the parent has to file that on their own 1040. All of us have to file. I don't care who you are. We have to file a 1040 tax return. And then when we file that, if we have an LLC, a business, or S corporation on the side, if it's a S Corp or a LLC, it's passed through. Those corporations, those businesses don't pay taxes. Whatever they tax that they owe or have a profit, that a loss, it always spills over to the individuals so they can file it on their income taxes. That's why they call pass-throughs. It's like having a minor child, and a minor child is a movie star, an actress, a model, or whatever money that child gets, it passes through, and the parent has to claim it on their personal income tax because it's a minor. Because remember, a minor can't even sign legal documents. You got to be an adult to sign. You got to be an adult to have a bank account. A minor can't sign any contracts. You have to be an adult. So you need a parent, a guardian. But when the next step from there is once the minor grows up and get out of the house, 21 years old, they on their own. If they do something bad, the police can come get them. They don't come. If they do something bad in college, they ain't calling you. They don't do their homework. They're not calling the parents for someone who in college. They're going to say, listen, that person is an adult. We can take them to jail. They got to pay for their own sins.
Gotcha.
And IRS say, okay, it have nothing to do with your mom or your daddy. If you made money, you're a C Corp, you got to pay your own taxes.
Gotcha.
You ready? Okay, we
Right.
caught you up to speed.
Yeah. But Rob, see, now as we go through this, folks, let's not forget to tell our viewers and our listeners, hey, don't think that, hey, your cousin, your uncle, your girlfriend, your boyfriend can walk you through the strategies that you're going to need to take to set up the foundation for that business. So often we just think all we need to do is have a good business that makes money and we're winning. Oh, somebody says I need a C Corp. Okay. Somebody says I need an LLC. I'm going to get an LLC. No, we all need a coach. And that's why the Henderson Financial Group is saying to you, before you make the moves, hey, you need to speak with someone who can help you because, hey, there may be children involved. There may be a spouse involved. There may be a future marriage for Linda coming up.
Absolutely.
All this has to be prep. You just don't jump out there and say all of a sudden I'm opening business and I got a C Corp. Okay. Or I got an LLC. You really? How did you get it? Who's your tax preparer? Do you have a tax strategist rather than just somebody who's going to write numbers and say, this is what you earn, this is what you pay, da, 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 da. And if you happen to have kids, Rob, as our friend in Atlanta says, James T, did you know that you could pay your children, what is it, $12,000, $13,000 a year? They're all, Rob, that's why as you give them these clues of what they can do, you still need to have a coach.
Yes, you need to know.
And for us boss women out there who will get married again, we need this strategy because we don't want to commingle and mix up. And I know we all going to marry somebody that's equal to or have more than us or not, but we need the strategy to protect our assets and our hard-earned money.
You act
So
like
we-
you didn't want to put that word together.
And you know, and you
I
know,
want to scare nobody, James.
and you know, James and Linda, as I learned all this stuff, and I learned this stuff, I feel so bad because I say
Mhm.
there's millions and millions of people
Don't know.
that don't know
They don't
this.
know.
And guess what? They're not trying to explain it to you because it seems like the system that we live in the haves and the have not, we need people to be ignorant and not aware. Because if you anytime you're ignorant and not aware, I promise you're being taken advantage of. And nobody they don't have a system that says, okay, we want to make sure everybody's aware. They're not, it's not like that. And you know, they can back it up when you say, when I say, why don't y'all teach this? And they say, listen, everybody grown. You got to seek, you got to ask, and you got to knock. You on your own. Nobody got to tell you go to the bathroom when it's time to go. When you're adult, you know how to go. When you're a child, you potty train. But as you learn potty train, you know it's time to go pee. Go pee. You know what I mean? So that's the way they look at it, which I still think is awful because I think that, you know, on Wednesday, Heisen and I was talking about a show. We was talking about feelings, the effects of your feelings, how the feelings are temporarily, but a lot of people do things based on how they feel today, and it's going to have an effect on them tomorrow because their feelings change. You know what I mean? Like the wind. But there's 3 type of people on the planet. Everybody fits in this 3. Everybody listening, you are one of 3 of these people, or maybe 2. I don't know. The first type of person is those who just see. They can see. I see what you're saying. I see. Not a whole lot of people that I can just throw something out and they go, I got it. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot of people just born seeing. Like some people come to the planet, they just can play the piano. They're 3 years old, 5 years old, they just see. They know math, they just see. So the first type of person is those who see. Most of us fit in the second type of person. Those who see when they are told. But there's an awful lot of people that fit in that last slot. Those that just never see. You could talk to them until you're blue in the face. You say, you see Susie got on crack, don't touch that crack. Oh, you on crack now, huh? There are people who, there's 3 types. Those who see when they're told, and those who just don't see.
Okay,
Let
let's
the
get
church
back
say
to the
amen.
C
Okay,
Corp.
so the C Corp basically is a grown-up. I like the C Corp because I have not only LLC, and I have an LLC, I have an S Corp, and I have a C Corp. A C Corp, if I need some tax deductions easily, I can actually shift it off to the C Corp. The C Corp, when it gets the money, it's going to pay the least amount of taxes on the planet.
So the pass-through LLC and S make money. We got to find the deductions, equipment, a Jeep, and I can pay for service, pay it to my C Corp.
Yes.
And that will
reduce your taxes, your personal income taxes. Isn't that something?
Even though I own the C Corp.
Yes.
I am the C Corp as well, and the LLC.
When you say you own it, you're a shareholder in the C Corp.
Because
when you buy Apple stock, you're a shareholder. When you buy McDonald's stock, you're a shareholder. If you buy shares in Google, you're a shareholder. You buy shares. If those are that work for your company and you buy company benefits and company shares, you're a shareholder.
Okay.
You are a shareholder. But you're just not the management.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But you could be the manager of your C Corp also.
And I can have my LLC, Casa Linda building. I can hire the C Corp to cut the grass.
Yes, you can.
Pay the C Corp.
Yes, you can.
Reduce my tax liability for the LLC.
But you can do that with the LLC.
I can do that with the LLC.
Yeah, LLC.
Okay.
Anytime of any kind of reductions. James went out here another power outage. So he's been having power outages. So he's going out in and out. We got 10 more minutes. But yeah, it's very important. Now, let me tell you something. If you're working hard, most people don't have time. And plus, this could be boring for a lot of people. We love this. This is our football, our soccer. This is our baseball. We love this, man. This is our chess. We get off on this. I really get off on this. And that's why I go to those workshops, because I like to learn the strategy behind. And I find out, there's so many. That's why even with Donald Trump, all the stuff, indictments and everything, you ain't hearing nothing about no taxes, huh? You ain't hearing nothing about no tax fraud.
Not fraud. No,
no. They
This is
they
his
campaign stuff.
Yeah.
They ain't talking about that. And I remember when they said that he didn't.
He's inflated the price of his real estate to get loans, and then he devalues them to pay less taxes.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Mhm.
If you knew what that U.S. tax code allowed you to do,
Mhm.
let me go on the record tell y'all.
Okay.
99% of the U.S. tax code shows you how not to pay taxes.
Okay.
It gives you tax strategies, moves. It's like having an instruction book
Mhm.
on how to play a game. Tell you how to do this.
Okay.
Most people don't read the instructions.
Okay.
They don't read the manual on how to do it, you know?
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah. So, all right. So James has a power outage. So we'll you know, like I said, we'll talk later. But anyway,
Okay.
we can take it on for the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
So C corps are very, very powerful.
Mhm.
That's why the major corporation, when you hear corporations don't hardly pay no taxes, that's why, because they all have C corps.
Okay.
And C corps, man, if a corporation make $1 billion, all they has to do go out and buy a plane, set of planes. They can buy some condos. They can buy office buildings all over the country. The money still, and it becomes an asset. See, you don't have to spend the money; it goes away. So you can actually spend money, have a tax deduction, but it helps build up your wealth.
A lot of politicians don't like that. A lot of politicians say the big corporations pay little to no taxes, and a lot of them want them to pay a minimum tax, because you're right. The strategies out there, they literally can get away with paying less taxes than the school teacher.
When you say a lot of who don't like it,
a lot of Democrats, a lot of politicians, a lot of people in the middle or on the left are really trying to change that.
Well, let's be clear about that.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of rhetoric that's out there.
Mhm.
You know,
What is it?
It's a lot of rhetoric. There's a lot of rhetoric out there. You know
Okay.
what I mean by that? They're saying one thing and doing another. So you can say you don't
Just
like
telling us what we want to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
The person that comes so hard, down so hard on strippers probably go with a stripper. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I hate it. A person who talks so bad about gays, inside of them, there may be a little gayism in them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, anytime so you gotta be careful when someone's saying, hey, the politicians need to pay tax. That could just be a little jingle. You know what I mean? But really, they're using corporations too.
So you really think that there's not many politicians that don't like this system, because they're probably taking advantage of it?
When you say they probably, Linda, the only reason why it's not changed because they ain't changing it.
Yeah.
Would you change?
You've been talking about this since.
Linda, would you change a system that's making you more money? Would you change it? Would any of us change it? If we got laws and rules that's benefiting us, and we're lawmakers, would we change it? No.
But the people.
What the people? What?
The people.
Say
it's
heaven.
Not benefiting the people.
It's not heaven.
And I took an oath. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Because if they wanted to change it, I've seen them do other changes in breakneck speeds. But this is something we just rhetoric, just talk around. Yeah.
It sound good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Most of them people always talking about God. They don't believe in God because they believe in God, but they won't be doing what they do.
Gotcha.
God, let's pray. Man, come on, please. You know that's for the people.
Okay.
So let me tell you something. Think about when you're talking about the politicians don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think make the laws in America? The politicians. Congress. And then they all have side business. They get free. I mean, you know, so
okay.
Okay, so we talked about. I hope you guys understand. What did Mike says here?
Yeah, you may
read
want to
that.
block him. No, I don't want to.
No, Mike says he loves the show.
Mm-hmm.
And loves everything about what we talk about. Yeah.
So we talked about LLC, S corp. Both of those are pass throughs. Got it. C corp is the parent. You pay your own taxes, not a report. You actually pay taxes. There is a separate tax prepared for that C corp.
Yeah, just think about a C corp being your grown child.
So is there any reason why what can a C corp do that an LLC and the S cannot do?
Well, let me tell you. Okay, so let's just say
why would I want?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's just say you, Linda, you have your barbecue business.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have a C corp.
Mm-hmm.
You have an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, someone just ordered, $200,000 worth of barbecue, so you can do, at the Super Bowl or something.
Okay.
Now, they ask you how should they write the check out? if you have them make the check payable to Linda V's barbecue,
Mhm.
we know $200,000 coming in is going to create a taxable event, and it's going to be you're going to have a tax problem at the end of the year
Okay.
because you're going to be in a higher tax bracket.
Okay.
You're going to be in a 30-40% bracket if you make that kind of money.
Okay.
So you pay 30-40% in taxes. If they ask you, okay, who should make check payable to? So you know if it goes to the minor, the LLC, and the S corp, you're gonna pay a lot of taxes because it's minor. It's gonna come back to you on your personal tax return. But what if you told them, hey, just pay the C corp, because the C corp pays maximum 20%. So now automatically the same 200,000. If it paid to this entity, it pays 30-40%. If it pays to that entity, automatically by the rules, maximum is paying like 20%.
And the rest go in my pocket.
That's right.
So that's a huge reason to have a C corp hanging around there somewhere. Wow.
It's why do you think they don't just make these different structures just to make them? They mean something.
They mean something. Okay.
They mean something. I mean, winter clothes are different than summer clothes. They all clothes, but there's winter clothes and there's summer clothes. You know what I mean? I mean, that means something.
Yeah.
You wear them different times in different climates. When they have these different tax structures, business structures, they mean something. Most people don't know how to wear them, how to use them. But they're S corp for a reason. They're LLC for a reason. They're C corp for a reason. And there's a partnership for a reason. And there's even a sole proprietorship for a reason.
So right now, as I'm getting developer fees for projects, and I do have a C corp, I'd like those large checks to be deposited into the C corp. Because if it's given to Linda Harris,
right?
Oh man, I'm taxed.
Right.
So make it out to my C corp,
right?
Because the max I'm going to pay is 20%.
Right.
Got it.
So Vanessa Miller said, does an S corp protect your personal assets if you're sued?
That's the pass through, the S corp.
Yeah, but remember the S corp, it's a pass through in terms of income taxes. But an S corp, anyone can sue a company. So it doesn't necessarily mean that anyone can sue companies. We sue companies all the time.
Right.
Business owners, somebody, Mr. Louis lawn truck run the light and hit my car. I'm suing Mr. Louis lawn car. Okay, you can sue. So to answer your question, let me tell you another trick. Since we know that the LLC is like an umbrella, like a force field, it's a force field that insulates you from lawsuits.
Gotcha.
Do you know you can have a LLC for protection, but tax as a S corp? You can have an LLC for protection, but tax as a C corp.
Ooh. All right. Just call 305-825-1444 because that you need an expert to
because the
drill down
so
on
you
that.
know the LLC the money passed through to you.
Yes.
But it ain't gonna pass through to you instead of you as an S corp to pass through to. It ain't gonna pass through to you if it's a C corp that it passed through that profit. You follow me?
Gotcha. Wow.
Just think of the LLC. You going out in the rain and you got an umbrella. You want to have that, so you won't get so wet. So I hope I answered the question. Yes, but does an LLC in itself? Does an S corp in itself protects your personal assets? Depends on how you structure it, but it's better to have an LLC tax as a S corp. See, when the taxes and the taxes and doing business, it depends on how you stack it and how you layer it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I just had a thought. It's like some people when they say when you go up north you should layer up. You ever heard that term, layer?
Absolutely.
What does that mean when they say you should layer up when you go up north?
Wear 2 or 3 shirts and a coat and an undershirt so you can take it off in the day and layer up and just put on several layers of clothing.
And they usually say you want to have something tight, like tight under there,
undershirt,
and you have something loose, and you can have something tight. That's this layer. Then you put on that coat. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's layer. That's no different metaphorically from having an S corp, C corp, LLC.
You layered up.
You layered
What's
up.
the maximum a S corp can pay? Is it like a C corp in 20%?
An S corp comes all the way down to your personal. So
they don't pay. They do a report.
They do a report.
Got you.
An S corp
that was
report.
a test. You passed.
Test
it.
for who? I'm the teacher. How you gonna tell it? How you gonna test the teacher? Oh Lord, that boy, she's back. She's back. Oh man.
Good information.
I hope you
Again,
guys learned something.
yeah, I think that you did really well because I wanted, at the top of the show, I'm like, let me hear how he's going to explain this complicated corporate structure, but you did it. And you did it in a way where it's like, oh, okay, right now, what's the pass through? LLC S Corp. What's the most a C Corp pay in taxes? 20%. You did it. Umbrella, the baby, the metaphors. You did a very good job.
But see, some people just listen to my words, but I want you to get the meaning. That's why when you said, that's why I want to ask you if you in South Florida and you want to go in the cold, Alaska, or whatever, they don't just tell you to just put on a heavy coat. They tell you should layer up, layers. Like a layers means that you may have on what they call a tight,
like undershirt or
undershirt. What do they call them? Not underwear. When we go skiing, we put them on the I can't think of the name. When we go skiing, we put on them like underwear, but
the long johns or the ski suits.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But you always put on the long johns under. In other words, you put it on
the warmers,
and then you put another t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Then you put a sweater on.
Yeah, Vanessa Miller said long johns. Yeah,
long johns. And then you put those on, and then you put a little tight t-shirt on because you layer. And then you one of the layers is made out of certain fabrics so it won't sweat and you won't get wet in there. It absorbs your heat. You know what I mean? All this that's layers. So when I'm saying layers, and then finally you put on the big coat, but you're layered up. Those are like having an S Corp, LLC.
Gotcha.
In one business, you have I tell you, when you look at Microsoft, you look at Apple, they got 40 different businesses under that one, but they have these parent companies. That's why you have parent companies and these companies that do certain things. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, Mike Jenkinson, spandex. You're right. Hey, listen, if y'all learned something, I told you, I don't want y'all just to listen to the words. I want you to listen to the meaning. What does it mean? That's why I use a minor child as a pass-through, like LLC, S Corps. They don't file taxes. I mean, they don't pay taxes. You have to file a report because IRS want to be nosy, but they want to show how you took that deduction and put it onto your personal. So that's why when you have real estate, you put it in the LLC, but all the tax deductions and fixing up the property, doing all that stuff, you want to be able to have that in the LLC so it can pass through to your personal income taxes,
Yeah, because we always say it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And boy, you got to learn all these strategies on how not to just pay maximum taxes legally. It's what you keep.
Yes,
you can work hard, spend all your time, and you get a notice saying you owe this and that, and all because you didn't strategize. And it starts a year in advance. You can't just come when it's ready to file your taxes.
Right. That's the difference between a tax preparer. Most people have tax preparers to prepare their tax. Most people don't have tax planning.
Gotcha.
Tax planning. And if you had to write a check and pay the IRS last year, shame on you for not planning for this year. You got to be ready for them suckers. Otherwise, you're going to keep repeating the same thing. And some people come to us, they say, listen, I'm a doctor or I have this kind of business. And every year I pay, $90,000. I said, how long you been doing that? For 10 years. So you don't pay $900,000 and you keep going back to the same accountant and they just say, oh, you got to pay now.
Well, that's because they don't want to pay a real tax strategist.
Well,
now they don't like writing a check to a real tax. They just rather pay Miss Rudolph or TurboTax and just pay. But you either write it to the IRS or you write it to somebody that can enrich you and have that money set aside in a shareholders account. There's so many ways for it to benefit you instead of writing it to the IRS, Robert.
Yeah, that's why the powers that be, they don't feel sorry for you because you got to do something. You got to get off the duff. You got to make a change, and nothing changes until you change it. That's just the way it is. So if you guys learn anything today, can you put post a 1 so I'll know that you learned something? And if you didn't get it right now, maybe I was talking too fast or it was complicated, you can go back and you can watch this show as many times as you want. Remember, it's on Facebook and YouTube. So you can watch it and pick it up. And then you can always call the Henderson Financial Group and say, can you explain that to me? I got a situation. What most of y'all should be doing is saying, listen, how do I do this? Because doing things in a certain way is what it's about. There's always, and just because you don't know it doesn't mean that there's something better out there. Two heads are always better than one. I'm telling you. I have a team of people working with me, and I
Mhm.
have people that's smarter than me that I talk to also that's around the country. Yeah, I tell you, and I love that because when I don't learn more, I don't feel good. Every time I learn, I feel empowered because I know that I'm going to turn around
Mhm.
and I'm going to share it with you all. Okay. So don't be bashful. Don't be ashamed. Call 305-825-1444 and set up an appointment. Okay.
You got it. You
Right?
got it.
All right, good. I hope you guys. Oh man, Brenda said she put 111 ones. Okay, I'm
Good.
glad you all learned. And look at look at Miss Anna Dupree. She put in about 6 or 7 ones. Okay, that means you got it. Well, that fills my heart. Anytime that you learn something, I know I've done God's work.
Good deal.
Right?
Good deal.
Yeah, take it easy and be safe and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Peace, love, and prosperity.